So what's happened relative to the Kirwan Commission recommendations related to those 5 policy areas? On December 18th, they received a letter from the presiding officers that said, we're going to give you more time and we don't expect you to come up with final funding recommendations prior to the 2019 session. I will say, my professional opinion, that was over-interpreted as putting the brakes on Kirwan and therefore nothing's going to happen this session. I don't think anything could be further from the truth, and I'll talk about that in a minute as we look at these next slides, because what the Commission did was finalize action in approving their full report and then to urge the Governor to include funding in the currently pending FY20 budget and to make concrete funding recommendations for FY21. And so the tables of the aggregate amount of funding, not split out between the state and counties, are all available and are all a matter of public record now. And you have these 5 chapters, if you will, on all of those 5 policy areas. That report was supposed to be done by the end of January. It's probably going to be released any day now. And so the Kirwan Commission is, again, I would say 95% done. And in looking at that, the players at the table, the Maryland Association of Counties in particular, abstained overall because those aggregate numbers were not nearly as meaningful to them as the breakout between the state and county share of those numbers. And so the 2 representatives from MACO abstained. Secretary David Brinkley voted for the report, abstaining only from the subsection of the subsection that dealt with what funding would be mandated for his boss to include in his budget next year. And so, and MABE's representative, Joy Schaefer from the Frederick County Board, voted to support the report and the recommendations with the caveat that we were going to submit a minority statement on Policy Area 5 and governance and accountability. And that's the MABE action described here, and I've distributed a copy of that